Hi, this is Kerry Artek with Wicked Stocks bringing you the daily Tesla report for Friday, September 9th, 2022. Once again, Tesla, a daily video series we're putting out through September. And then in October, we're going to switch to another frequently traded, high volume, highly day traded, stock. We haven't determined it yet. It'll probably be in the top 10 of the NASDAQ 100, I would suspect. But this is a continuing series. And, it's something we're going to offer for free on a continuum on YouTube. We're going to just roll to different stocks. But just know that wickedstocks.com, a premium membership, will provide you a daily triple Q analysis, daily SPY analysis, 2 individual stock picks a week at least. Today we did one on Johnson & Johnson, and those are near to mid to longer term time horizon stock picks. Also, weekly S&P 500 index, weekly NASDAQ 100 index, weekly Treasury ETF analysis, the TLT right now. Is there anything more? There probably is more. There's always more. Anyway, let's get on with the daily Tesla report for Friday. I want to pick the right chart here and kind of start back from the big picture. I'd mentioned earlier in the week when we started actually the Tesla report on Tuesday, coming off the long Labor Day holiday, that the 272.16 rising channel bottom coming off those May lows is our longer term support. Longer term meaning 272.16. You can see in the support resistance area here, able to absorb selling through September into October, and above which we should reach the 338.16 channel top by the end of October. So that is the big picture in terms of upside likelihood, in my opinion, above 272.16. We've tested long-term support and we're now coming off of it. In fact, I'm going to scroll to, let's take a look at this chart here. Having closed today, in fact, yesterday, Wednesday, we were testing that 279.34 descending channel top. I mentioned how it is likely to be violated in the coming days. I'd mentioned how we could top out at 279.34 or that channel top and perhaps fall back within a day or two to 272.16. But given the testing of longer term support, this was actually expected. The settlement above 279.34 yields our 2 to 3 week objective now at 301.46. So, in fact, I think I have this chart here somewhere, don't I? Let me see if I do, and I do not. I'll just go back to this one. So if you can imagine, I've been mentioning this, how holding above 272.16, yes, by the end of October, 338.16, but over the next 2 to 3 weeks, 301.46. That is our 2 to 3 week objective. And now Thursday, after having closed above 279.34, we're probably 3 to 5 days or less away from reaching that 301.46. Now on the way up today, well, actually, it's funny. It's actually in the very immediate vicinity. We settled right at this point, really. This is nothing but a simple trend line off the tops. I think you can consider it an intraday pivot point, below which we just might fall back to 279.34, that channel top I showed in the previous slide, and above which, a Friday and all, we could actually reach 301.46 intraday, although I'm going to hang my hat on 295.97 as a level that should be respected for its ability to contain daily buying pressures. Do I have that noted here anywhere? I do not, but I can describe it to you. 295.97 is a 5/8 upside Fibonacci retracement over the last 3 weeks off of this pullback high that was put out in August against the more recent early September low. 295.97, we should have trouble there. So here's the scenario, pushing or opening above 287.76, and keep in mind that just a mere unchanged opening on Friday morning will have us above 287.76. We could bottom out there on an intraday basis and from there push on to 295.97 quite easily within the day, where we can place a daily high. But know that if we do push through 295.97 today, especially with a solid hour left in the day, 301.46 in reach, where we could top out through next week. At 301.46, this formation can contain buying through next week. And from here, we could fall back within a week or two to this rising channel bottom at 272.16. So the big levels here, 287.76 is really of little consequence. It is 272.16 below the market, longer term support, above which 301.46 remains a 2 to 3 week target, which may actually be realized over the next few days, and 338.16 is expected by the end of October. Now, as I've mentioned in earlier videos this week, if we were to close above the 301.46 formation in the coming days, we probably have 2 to 3 weeks before reaching 338.16, which can, longer term, contain buying on a quarterly basis. In other words, we could perhaps top out here through the balance of the year at 338.16. And once again, it's expected by the end of November above 272.16, and over the next few weeks, if we close today, for instance, above 301.46. Now, downside today, if we break or open today below 287.76, we could fall all the way back, as I mentioned a moment ago, to this channel support, 279.34, just below yesterday's 279.76 low. So we could break that low just a hair, bottom out there for the day, and holding above 279.34, as I say, maintains a 3 to 5 day target at 301.46. But if we do close today back below 279.34, we should on Monday test 272.16. Once again, able to contain selling through September, through October, and above which the 338.16 level is likely by the end of October. Now, if we do close below 272.16, we shift into the bearish camp that actually reverses momentum into likely through next week. But we don't have a long way to go then before testing meaningful speed line support, presently at 252.79. So closing below 272.16, that channel bottom I showed a moment ago, does set off, I'm going to say, a 1 week sell signal. I think within a week we should fall all the way back to 252.79, which is in correspondence or correlation rather with the 254.97, this pullback high, which was a meaningful high. You know, we actually gapped above it at one point and we haven't looked back. There is a bit of a gap here down to 254.97. Anyway, 252.79 if tested over the next week or two. And once again, I'm not expecting it unless we close today, for instance, below 272.16. The 252.79 rising 2/3 speed line, able to contain selling through Q4. Very similar in strength to 272.16. So the way I frame it is, and this is probably one of the last things I'll say, is I'm constructive into October above 272.16, anticipating 338.16 by the end of October. And I really don't turn bearish into October unless we close below 252.79. And then I would expect not only within 3 to 5 weeks or less a test of that 206.85 low from last May, but then some. I think it's likely we would then fall all the way back to the 193.67 channel bottom that we pegged pretty nicely when we put out a Tesla video back in April. We'd mentioned this area as a target and one able to contain quarterly selling pressures, which is done so far. But if we close below 252.79, then we're back at it again. 193.67 then expected. I'd say inside of 2 months of closing below 252.79, 193.67 able to contain selling into the first quarter of next year, possibly through Q1 of 23. I think that pretty much rounds it out for Friday's Daily Tesla Report. Be back Sunday afternoon with Mondays, and you have a great weekend.